Hey y'all, welcome to Timoteo TV 2015 Football Edition. And this week we're going to talk about Week 8 coming up, playoff implications going on, division titles going on. But first of all, history was made Saturday with one team, first time in Timoteo history, winning 2 games in one day. That was the Colts, taking 2 victories, one against the Lions and the other one. Can you tell me which one the other was, Leo?
They beat the Saints.
The Saints. Didn't want to say it like that, but yeah, they beat the Saints. So we're going to go ahead and jump in.
It was also another history moment in Timoteo. A team took 2 losses.
No, we're not going to talk about it.
It's implied.
Yeah, we're not going to. So we're going to just talk about the victories.
The positive.
Yeah,
it's a positive show.
Positive week.
It's a positive week.
Leo making the playoffs now. He don't know that. He don't know that.
He done lost his composure. So we're going to go jump right into Week 8's predictions. And the first game we have is going up against the Panthers and the Ravens.
Yeah, the Panthers and Ravens. Wow, Panthers, real deal. Incredible game. It's one of the most intense games I've ever been a part of in terms of coaching. And it was a double overtime, 1-point win. Panthers and Packers is like an old school heavyweight fight going back and forth. Incredible. Panthers, they need a win against the Ravens. If they beat the Ravens, they will lock up the #1 seed. If they lose to the Ravens, they could fall all the way down to 4th seed. I mean, it's incredible what we have going on into the playoffs. We have right now 2 teams with 1 loss, 3 teams with 2 losses, 2 teams with 3 losses, and 1 team with 4 losses that are in the playoffs. Ravens could sneak in if they have a better power ranking than the Vikings, if the Vikings lose. Highly unlikely, though. We'll see. But right now we have a couple things going on with the Panthers. They have George and they have KFCs with Seahawks. Both of them are in the running for the MVP right now, and it's amazing. They both have 11 interceptions and 15 touchdowns. I don't know if we've ever had that in the same season. 2 players running neck to neck, having those kind of numbers is just incredible. George edges them a little bit with extra points and tackles, but incredible season this year for both those guys. And also should be noted that for the career sacks, the career sack is 52, and Davon now has 52. But Freddie also has come in and he has 53. And so we're seeing some great numbers, some records being broken this season, which is incredible. I think the Panthers are all gears. We're going to come at the Ravens with everything we have. We're not going to sleep on them. We're not going to, it's not a bye week for us by any means. We're going to beat the Ravens 39-13.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really impressed. The Panthers have solidified themselves as one of the great teams in the league. I think they won, 6 games in a row? I mean, they're playing impressive on both sides of the ball. Defense is playing great. Offense is playing really good. And George is definitely having an MVP season. He's right there with Khalil, like he was mentioning. But I think the Panthers are going to pull this one out 28-7. I just don't think the Ravens have enough firepower to keep up with this hot Panthers team.
Yeah, the Panthers, this show is a lot easier when you're coming off a win. The first time I'm coming off a loss, so I'm a little nervous. But the Panthers, they played great. They scored 1 more point than we did and won the game, and they're definitely a top team in the league. I think it proved that both teams are really good. So that was impressive, and they came back from behind, so that was pretty good too. The one thing though going into this game is last year the Ravens made the playoffs, beating the Seahawks in the last game of the season to make it. So the Ravens have a reputation of sneaking into the playoffs. So on that note, Missy, I was talking to Missy. Missy was telling me that she watched our game and she saw a lot of flaws in stuff we could have taken advantage of as the Packers, and she said they're going to use that to try to gain an advantage over the Panthers. I don't know if the Ravens can pull off that magic like they did last year. Especially with that loss they had to the Cardinals, a coaching debacle over there. But I'm gonna have to go with the Ravens on this one. I just think after that cheering from the Panthers, I think their Urban Bowl was yesterday. I mean, was Sunday. I mean, was Saturday. And I told you I'm coming off a loss. It's tough. Okay. Their Urban Bowl was on Saturday, and I think the Ravens, they're going to do whatever it takes to kind of win to get in there. So I'm going to go with the Ravens in this one, a close game, 28-27. I think the Panthers sleepwalk through this one.
Okay. Well, hey, I like what you said, and if the Ravens would have stayed with Missy as a scout throughout the season, maybe their record would be a little better. I mean, she was saying she saw some holes.
Yeah.
Maybe if
You talk a lot with Missy too.
Yeah. Me and Missy
Interesting
real cool.
relationship, you guys.
Yeah, definitely. We go way back.
So let's go to that next 1 o'clock game where there's definite playoff implications going on.
Yeah,
we got the Vikings and the Colts.
This is huge. With the Ravens' loss and or a win by the Vikings, they're in the playoffs. If they win, they're in. If they lose, as long as the Ravens lose, they still get into that 8th seed. Winning those 3 games early, proving to be very important for them. Let's see where we at. The Colts are in no matter what. With the double win this past week, they already locked in. They're at 4 wins right now. If they win now, they'll be 5-3, which looks pretty good, like a pretty successful season. The Colts actually have a tiebreaker over the Cowboys. But the Cowboys have a tiebreaker over the Vikings, and so that has some things we'll look into as they rank in there. With the win for the Colts, they'll actually rank higher than the Cowboys, and so they could actually be up as high as 6th seed. If they lose, they could be as low as the 8th seed. So they're looking in between that 6 to 8 range. But I think the Vikings, they've fallen apart. This could be the last game we ever see of the Vikings. I mean, coming up in this game right here. I mean, well, I guess they'll be in the playoff, but I mean, I don't know where the coaching staff is going. It's a debacle over there. It's incredibly embarrassing. The Colts, they're on fire. They have a winning record. They want to show that they're not just a 500 team. They're going to be 5-3. They're going to beat the Vikings 26-19.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to the Vikings. I mean, they just fell apart. I know before the season started, I spoke a lot with Moses. Moses was talking a lot of championship, that they were going to win it all. But, I mean, I don't know what happened to the Vikings. Or they
Was Moses talking about handball?
Oh, that's probably what it was. You know, I probably misunderstood. But, I mean, I don't know what happened to that Vikings team. I mean, they just fell apart. And, I mean, if Heck don't show up this Saturday either, I don't think they will win. But hopefully Heck is going to show up. I pray that he's going to show up. So that I believe Heck will show up this Saturday. I have the Vikings winning this one in a close one, 18-13.
Can I interject real quick?
Sure, go ahead.
And it's another history thing. Another history thing. The first time in history, on Timoteo history, where the team told the coach not to come to the game.
Is that what happened?
Where did you get that from?
Oh wow,
That's
Word on the street.
That's word on the street. Word on the street.
Gotcha. Well, it didn't help, huh?
Yeah.
They still weren't able to pull it
Next
off.
time, text your coach to come to the game.
Come to the game, but yeah, you got 2 teams. You got one team that's cold, then you got one team that's on fire right now. I mean, the Colts are on fire right now. The Vikings are slumping. Like I said, Chris is very confident they're going to beat the Ravens. So that's why he's saying this is going to be the Vikings. The Vikings will be in the playoffs. But I think this is the Vikings' last game, going with my pick of the Ravens earlier. The Vikings are, I don't know what it is over there. It's just, I've never seen so much talent just go to waste, in the way they're playing. So I don't know. But the Colts are the real deal. The Colts are on fire, man. They've been scoring, like 5-6 touchdowns a week these last couple weeks, and defensively they pick it up, and they're just getting into the rhythm of, and they're playing their best ball. So they're a scary team going into the playoffs, and with that, I mean, I just don't think with Esky, Renee, and the way Chris is playing, that they can lose, and I got them winning 28-25. I got them probably scoring 4 touchdowns early and just kind of riding it out, and the Vikings might put some kind of fight at the end, but got the Colts winning.
Maybe with that new chicken selection of Popeyes, maybe that helped them, spice everything up. So let's go straight into the first 2:30 game, and that game is the Cardinals versus the Lions.
Cowboys and Eagles.
Cowboys and Eagles. My bad. I'm sorry. Yeah. Cowboys and Eagles.
You good?
Yeah, so the Cowboys and Eagles, this is going to be an incredible game. This will be one of the top marquee games of the day. Cowboys are back, so it appears. I don't know what happened to the Seahawks. Haven't been able to watch the tape yet.
How do you feel about the Cowboys being back, Chris?
I was very happy that they're back this week. Allowed us to be in the first seed. But yeah, so we'll see. This is going to be a huge game because the Eagles are 5-2. The Cowboys are 4-3. The Cowboys have tiebreakers over the Vikings, whereas the Eagles, they have the tiebreaker over the Colts and the Panthers. And so if the Panthers lose, they could actually jump up ahead of them. Now, an Eagles loss, they would drop them below the Cowboys, Raiders, and Seahawks. They could be all the way down to the 6th spot. And so there's so much variation in what could happen, based on who wins, who lost. And the Eagles, if they win, I think they're going to be about the 4th seed. Because there's no way in Hades Seahawks are going to lose to the Saints. And so they're going to be up there to the 2nd or 3rd seed. So you're looking about 4th seed for the Eagles. I think today, I think the Eagles are still going to win. I think they're hot. I think they're going to win this game 25-24 against the Cowboys. But, man, anything could happen, man, this next week. It's too tight to really call.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with Chris over there. First he said we was going to miss the playoffs. Then he said we were going to win another game. We won 2 games to shut him up. We're going to shut him up again this week. We're going to beat the Eagles in a close one, 25-20. I think that you need more than just running around, Brian, and just dumping the ball off to Wesley. That's just not going to work against us. You need to throw the ball to all your other receivers that you have that we don't know who they are because you don't throw them the ball. But I think we've been playing really well offensively and defensively. You know, Reggie's coming down from the safety spots, making plays. And Leroy playing quarterback, just spreading the ball all over the place, giving all my receivers the ball. And we're doing really well. And, I mean, we're coming in as a hot team, and that's the momentum we're going to run with in the playoffs. So, like I said, we're going to win this one 25-20.
Yeah, real quick, Leo. So what made you make the switch to go with Leroy at quarterback?
Whatever give us the best chance to win. And I noticed that Leroy give us the best chance to win.
It's interesting.
You got a
because
question you can ask me.
It was interesting because I was talking to one of your assistant coaches, and your assistant coach.
You're lying. Start with the false
Alex, I talked to Alex. I'll say his name.
What's his name?
Alex.
Alex what?
I don't know his last name.
Okay then. He's not missing.
All right, he's not your assistant coach?
He is.
Okay, he said he told you to put Leroy in at quarterback from week 2.
Yeah, they've been telling me. But
Yeah,
like I told you guys
he said you're finally listening to him, and that's why you guys have started to win.
Well, as we've finally been together on the same page as coaches, all the coaches that have been at practice together. We've finally been communicating.
Yeah.
So the fact that we all been at practice, communicating and meeting weekly, we're all able to be on the same page.
He said you're hard-headed. He said that you didn't have respect for what he had to say. He said, but now that you're winning, you're listening. That's what he told me.
Wow.
You know what
That's funny. I have a friend that said we kind of the same.
You know what the problem was? The problem was, you know, he's always been trying to come at me. So a last name Moore, he refused to do that, even though he knows Moore. That just spews talent.
Yeah.
That just spews talent. And that kid came in. Look what he's doing for your team.
I don't know anybody else named Moore that's good.
Yeah.
But real quick, so now that we got that cleared up on who's really coaching over there.
What about Martinez?
Pedro
Besides
Martinez.
baseball.
Pedro Martinez.
Baseball.
That's what we do. We play baseball. We play baseball.
All
All right, listen. All right, so the Cowboys, I mean, listen, it happened to us. We had to put our best receiver and our best player, white boy, at quarterback, and it was very effective for us, even though he wasn't not naturally a quarterback. Leroy, though, has a cannon. I don't know what you were waiting. I guess maybe you were playing possum or something and trying to come as an underdog this year, but Leroy can throw the whole field. I don't see why that decision wasn't made earlier. He was really good. Leroy's been great, and he's great. I think your best defensive player as well. Wow. One thing I can say about the Cowboys, they're having fun. You know what I mean? You got Butt out there, the biggest smile in the world, getting all these sacks. You got Dion throwing touchdowns to Leroy throwing touchdowns to Dion. You got somehow Reggie twirling, getting into the end zone. And even
he looked like a ballerina.
He looked like a ballerina. He looked like he slimmed down. Looked like he lost like 1 pound. And then you also got no, not him, not Keyshawn. Yeah, he's not that. Yeah, no, I don't know who that is. Who's the real tall one? He got like 4 names. No, that's not his name.
Pat?
Eric Maurice, one of them. What's his? Pat. Yeah, Pat. Yeah. He's been playing pretty good too, and he actually played pretty good defense on Cheers, probably the best we've seen all year. So the Eagles have 2 players. They have Brian.
Oh, don't forget about
Teddy.
I like Teddy too.
That's what they got.
That's
Yeah,
it?
Teddy.
Who's the other guy?
Wesley comes whenever he wants. He's not
Julius.
even. Julius just grabs flags. He lets guys catch balls and grabs flags. I'm not impressed.
Yeah, and another thing is, my kids are coming back every other week. The past few weeks I've been missing a lot of players. So, as the week is progressing, all my players are starting to come back. Problem is I'm getting out the way.
Hopefully they have 4 games under their belt.
You all right? You rushing them?
He's rushing me here to make my pick. Anyway, I got, even though Bryant being the best Eagles quarterback of all time, I still got not Keel. Brian McDonald. Brian McDonald. He could run. I changed my mind after watching him play. Yeah, he could run, throw, and he gets pick sixes all day long. Yeah, he can do everything.
He gets picks.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, not gives. Yeah, he gets. And so I got the Cowboys winning this one 33-28.
Wow, great picks. That's
He's not too excited about that.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm not a Cowboy fan.
Your head too tight.
So,
too tight.
I'm not a Cowboy fan. The bearded one down there.
Get some Advil.
He finally did not agree. He finally did not agree with Chris. So, hey, we're going to end this session with Week 8 predictions. Stay tuned for second half.